when you actually saw what the Ho Chi Minh Trail was?
We hadn't heard too much about it, and when we did the mission, usually the crew, the pilots, are briefed. We weren't part of that briefing. We were pretty much told we were on our own if we get shot down. When I went over in '68, they took away our dog tags and ID, and pretty much later on in the year, they didn't bother anymore. Well, the hog that I flew on it was overloaded, but we had to run, when we took off, we had to run down the runway. The door gunners had to get off and run down the runway so the thing could get up speed to take off. My crew chief broke 3 toes. He jumped on and jumped off, and the skid came down and, broke his toes. For the most part, as a door gunner, we didn't get to see what we were shooting at. You just shoot into the jungle or whatever. I think maybe in the 2 years I was there, it was 3 occasions we ever saw who we were shooting.
Right, and would you just see the bullets coming? I mean, do you see anything, or?
Sure. We every 4th round that we shot was a tracer, and what the enemy shot were usually green tracers. And the pilots had armored seats, and they had ceramic armor plates in the front. We weren't issued any of that until my 2nd tour. The only way we got that kind of stuff was purloining it from other people, because there just wasn't enough to go around. The teams that went in usually weren't going in to fight. They were going in to gather intelligence. But sometimes they got inserted into some areas that were bad. And sometimes they get right on the ground and asked to be extracted right away. And there were times we couldn't get in during the monsoon season to get them out, because the cloud cover and the rain and everything wouldn't allow the helicopters to come in. These teams would be on the run for 2 or 3 days or more. There were trails everywhere. You thought you saw something, and there'd be a branch off and another branch off, and it was just continuous. They would take and tie the trees over the trail so you couldn't even see them from the air. I mean, they were masters at camouflage. It's a pretty hopeless battle. I mean, you'd go in and see parts of the trail bombed, and you'd come back the next day and it was all fixed. To give you an example, one time when I was in Slicks, we went in to insert a team, and we flew over the Ho Chi Minh Trail, and I counted over 60 trucks. And with all the firepower we had, we could have taken out that whole convoy. But that wasn't our mission. We're just in there to gather intelligence and drop the team off. Some of the things just didn't make sense to me, but of course I wasn't in charge of things. So.
Do you ever miss it?
Well, like most people that have been in combat, you'll never have anything more exciting in your life happen to you. So pretty much everything else around you is dull and boring. Not very exciting. You might have heard of that before.